Hallo Leute, willkommen zur heutigen Lektion, and today we shall be looking at Lektion 26, whereby we shall be looking at Trennbare Verben, that is separable verbs in English. And the first question which we need to ask ourselves here is, what are these separable verbs? What are separable verbs? And separable verbs, they are verbs that are made up of two parts. So in a nutshell, separable verbs, they are made of two parts. And which are these two parts? These two parts are, we have a prefix plus main verb. So separable verbs, they are made up of two parts. That is a prefix plus main verb. I'm going to use these examples to give you a better understanding what is a prefix and a main verb. And Beispiel Nummer 1, we have uncommon. So as you can see, uncommon is made up of un plus common. Un is the prefix, then common is the main verb. So un plus common, it gives you uncommon. That means to arrive. So this can tell you that uncommon, it's a Trennbare Verben because it is made up of a prefix, and an is the prefix and the main verb, which is common, giving you uncommon. So uncommon, it is a Trennbare Verben, or rather it is a separable verb. So Beispiel Nummer 2, we have aufstehen. Aufstehen means to get up, and as you can see, just like the way we have seen in uncommon, aufstehen is also a Trennbare Verben because it is made up of prefix and a main verb. And as you can see, our prefix here is auf, then stehen is our main verb, so giving us aufstehen. Then Beispiel Nummer 3, we have mitbringen. Mitbringen means to bring along. Also, this is a Trennbare Verben because it is made up of a prefix and a main verb. And our prefix here is mit, and our main verb here, it's bringing. So meet plus bringing, it gives you mitbringen, giving you which means to bring along. Now I want us to go ahead and look at the regel when using the Trennbare Verben in a sentence. And I'll start by saying that in a normal German sentence, the prefix separates from the verb and moves to the end of the sentence. Now this means that when you separate the prefix from the main verb, the prefix goes am Ende. And I'm going to use these examples to explain that rule. And the first Beispiel, or Beispiel Nummer 1, we have Ich komme Aktua an. Ich komme Aktua an. The Trennbare Verben here is uncommon. And remember, the rule was saying that when you separate a prefix from the main verb, the prefix goes am Ende. That's why we have the prefix an going am Ende. Then we have our main verb. Remember, our main verb was common, and that's why we have common here. And we have komme because we have conjugated that verb. So giving us Ich komme Aktua an. I arrive at 8 o'clock. Beispiel Nummer 2. Steht 6 Uhr auf. Steht 6 Uhr auf. The Trennbare Verben here is aufstehen. And the prefix, when you separate the prefix from the main verb, auf goes am Ende because it's the prefix. And steht remains in the second position, but you have to conjugate it. That's why we have steht 6 Uhr auf. Beispiel Nummer 3, we have wir bringen unsere Bücher mit. Wir bringen unsere Bücher mit. So remember here, the main, the Trennbare Verben is mitbringen. So that's why we have the prefix mit going am Ende, and the conjugated bringen remaining at the second position. Wir bringen unsere Bücher mit. Now, having looked at that, I want us to go ahead and look at common separable verbs. And I'm going to start with uncommon, which means to arrive. We have mitkommen, which means to come along. Aufstehen, to get up. Mitnehmen, to take along. Teilnehmen, to participate. Einkaufen, to shop. Fernsehen, to watch TV. So machen, to close. We have aufmachen, to open. Zurückkommen, to come back. ausgehen, to go out, bekommen, to receive or get, beginnen, to begin, vorstellen, to introduce. Remember when we are looking at sich vorstellen, so vorstellen means to introduce. Then we have vergehen, to leave or go away, losfahren, to set off, hingehen, to go there, nachdenken, to think about, aufräumen, to tidy up. We have aufsehen, to look up, and we have einschlafen, to fall asleep. Now, I want us to go ahead and look at conjugation of separable verbs, and I'll be using uncommon, which means to arrive, to demonstrate how we do conjugation of separable verbs, because all of them, they are going to follow the same procedure as uncommon. And remember we already did conjugation of verbs, so the difference here comes in because when you conjugate, the prefix goes am ende. So that's the only thing that we are going to add to the other conjugation we did before. So like when you conjugate, remember, uncommon is made up of a prefix and a main verb. The prefix here is an, and common is the main verb. We won't conjugate an. An goes am ende. So we are just going. So we'll just go ahead and conjugate common. That's what we have. When you conjugate a common in ish, you are going to get ish common. Then the prefix goes am ende, and the prefix is an. Do, it will be kommst, the prefix goes am ende. As it will be kommt, the prefix goes am ende. Wir kommen, prefix goes am ende. Ihr kommt, the prefix goes am ende. Sie, it will be kommen, the prefix goes am ende. So Beispiele im Satz, we have ich komme acht Uhr an. So remember the Trennbare Verben here is uncommon. So as you can see, we have conjugated the common, and it is komme. So we have ich komme acht Uhr an. It goes am ende. So we have wann kommst du an? When do you arrive? Then the last Beispiel we have der Zug kommt pünktlich an. Der Zug kommt pünktlich an. The train arrives on time. So I have a house of Gabe here for you. These are commonly testable questions in this area when it comes to grammatic. So and the question number 1 we have conjugate and give Beispiele im Satz of this Trennbare Verben. So mitbringen, and remember mitbringen means to bring along. Just like the way we have done uncommon, you do the same to this, and write your answer in the comment section. Then question number 5 we have write 10 prefixes of Trennbare Verben. So I can give you some. Remember, we have an, we have mit, we have los, we have zurück, we have auf, we have aus, we have teil, we have fun. Like I've said, like 8 of them. So you can just go ahead and write on that, and you give your answer in the comment section. So having done that, that marks the end of today's lesson, and it's my hope that you have understood something in today's lesson. And like I've always said, spare like 5 minutes of your time, practice on the same, because practice make it perfect. And also don't forget to support this YouTube channel by subscribing, like the content, and you can share the content widely with your friends. That's all for this lesson. Let us meet in the next lesson. Tschüss, bis bald, bis morgen.